As Star Trek retires Scotty, his last words settle what makes the franchise great. After nearly 6 decades, Star Trek has finally given a heartfelt farewell to one of its most enduring figures, Montgomery Scotty Scott. The beloved engineer, first brought to life by James Doohan and later portrayed by Simon Pegg and Martin Quinn, has been the embodiment of ingenuity, humor, and perseverance since the original series premiered in 1966. In Star Trek: Strange New Worlds Season 3, Scotty's final appearance doesn't just close the door on one of Trek's oldest legacy characters. It reaffirms everything that has always made Star Trek great: optimism, compassion, and the relentless belief in human potential. Scotty's departure is more than a nostalgic goodbye. His final words capture the beating heart of Gene Roddenberry's vision, an affirmation that no matter how advanced technology becomes, no matter how far humanity travels among the stars, what truly defines the Federation and its crews is their shared sense of wonder and faith in one another. The engineer who defined the impossible, from the moment he first declared, "I can't change the laws of physics," Montgomery Scott became an icon of Starfleet problem-solving. He wasn't just the Enterprise's miracle worker. He represented the human spirit's ability to adapt and create solutions where none seemed possible. Scotty wasn't a superhuman. He was a man who made the impossible possible through intellect, grit, and a touch of charm. When James Doohan originated the character, he infused Scotty with a unique warmth that made him stand out among the bridge crew. While Kirk led with confidence, Spock analyzed with logic, and McCoy argued with passion, Scotty was the glue that kept the ship running, and by extension, kept Star Trek's optimism grounded in practicality. In Strange New Worlds, Martin Quinn's portrayal brought a younger, energetic version of Scotty to the screen. His curiosity and ingenuity were front and center, showing audiences how the man we met in the original series came to be the legend. Scotty's inventions and unorthodox methods carried that familiar twinkle of mischief, reminding fans that his genius was always matched by his humor. So, when Strange New Worlds gave Scotty his final moment, it wasn't just about sending off a character. It was about celebrating the very essence of Star Trek, the belief that exploration and creation go hand in hand. A farewell rooted in hope, not tragedy. In contrast to many modern sci-fi franchises, Star Trek rarely glorifies death. Its characters don't simply fade away or fall victim to grim inevitability. They evolve. Scotty's final scene reflects this perfectly. Rather than a dramatic sacrifice or a tragic demise, he steps away from active service with humility and hope. His last words are simple but profound. There's always another problem to solve, another ship that needs fixing. But it's the people that make the stars worth it. That line is pure Star Trek. It reminds the audience that technology, warp drives, transporters, replicators may dazzle the eye, but the franchise has never been about machines. It's about the people who build, use, and care for them. Scotty's farewell is a nod to Roddenberry's core principle. The future is worth striving for because humanity is worth believing in. His departure, then, becomes a moment of clarity for the franchise. As Star Trek continues to evolve with new characters and new eras, from Discovery's 32nd century setting to Strange New Worlds retro optimism, Scotty's words act as a compass. The show reminds viewers that even amid change, the ideals of curiosity, compassion, and unity must never be lost. Scotty's legacy, humanity in the machine. What made Scotty unique among the Star Trek crew was his relationship with technology. He loved his engines as if they were living beings. She's a fine lass," he'd say of the Enterprise, his affection for the ship rivaling that of Kirk's own. But unlike many engineers in science fiction, Scotty's connection to the machine was deeply human. He treated technology not as a tool of dominance, but as a partner in exploration. This philosophy mirrored the heart of Star Trek's science fiction. While franchises like Terminator or Blade Runner focused on technology as a threat, Star Trek saw it as an extension of human progress, a way to better understand ourselves and the universe. Scotty embodied that relationship more than anyone else. His final episode in Strange New Worlds underscores this beautifully. In a touching exchange with Spock, Scotty reflects on how he once saw the warp core as the heart of the ship. But over the years, he's come to realize it's the people who serve aboard that give it life. Engines can be replaced, he says. But the laughter, the arguments, the camaraderie, you can't replicate that. That sentiment echoes through all eras of Star Trek. From the original series to the next generation, from Voyager to Lower Decks, the franchise has always been less about the stars and more about the souls who reach for them. A symbolic passing of the torch. Scotty's farewell doesn't just mark an ending, it also represents a passing of the torch to a new generation of Star Trek engineers and dreamers. Characters like B'Elanna Torres, Miles O'Brien, Paul Stamets, and Hemmer all carry pieces of Scotty's legacy. They share his relentless curiosity, his humor, and his refusal to accept limitations. In Strange New Worlds, we even see Scotty mentoring younger officers, offering advice that feels as relevant to Star Trek's future as it does to Starfleet's. Never let the manual tell you what's impossible. It's a line that could easily describe the spirit of the entire franchise. Star Trek has always thrived on breaking boundaries, technological, social, and philosophical. Scotty's retirement also subtly closes a generational loop. When he first appeared in the original series, the idea of warp drive and matter transporters was pure fantasy. Today, as real-world engineers explore quantum teleportation and fusion energy, Scotty's dream feels a little closer to reality. His departure reminds us that Star Trek's optimism about science wasn't misplaced, it was prophetic. Why Scotty's final words define Star Trek's greatness. Scotty's parting line, "It's the people that make the stars worth it," encapsulates what Star Trek has always done best: use the future to illuminate the present. It's not about escaping humanity's flaws, but learning from them. It's about striving to be better together. The franchise's greatness lies not in its technology or even its interstellar diplomacy, but in its moral curiosity. Every episode, from the city on the edge of forever to the measure of a man, asks the same fundamental question: what does it mean to be human? Scotty's farewell answers that question through humility and gratitude. He reminds us that being human means building, fixing, and caring, not just for machines, but for one another. Moreover, his send-off is a subtle commentary on Star Trek's enduring relevance. In an age of cynicism and dystopian storytelling, Star Trek remains defiantly hopeful. Scotty's goodbye isn't about finality, it's about continuity. His belief that there's always another problem to solve is both a promise and a challenge to the future of the franchise. Keep exploring, keep creating, and keep believing that humanity's best days are ahead. Honoring Doohan, Peg, and Quinn, Scotty's final moments in Strange New Worlds also pay homage to the actors who brought him to life. James Doohan's original performance made Scotty a cornerstone of Star Trek's emotional core, a working-class hero who proved that intelligence and compassion were just as important as command. Simon Pegg's portrayal in the Kelvin timeline gave the character a modern edge while keeping his warmth intact. Martin Quinn's younger version bridged technology or even its interstellar diplomacy, but in its moral curiosity. Every episode, from the city on the edge of forever to the measure of a man, asks the same fundamental question: what does it mean to be human? Scotty's farewell answers that question through humility and gratitude. He reminds us that being human means building, fixing, and caring, not just for machines, but for one another. Moreover, his send-off is a subtle commentary on Star Trek's enduring relevance. In an age of cynicism and dystopian storytelling, Star Trek remains defiantly hopeful. Scotty's goodbye isn't about finality, it's about continuity. His